what's happening. Well, mate, on our side, the weather has been absolutely smashing. Like, it's been super sunny and super warm. And those of us...
I've been hearing hot, not warm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, by our standards, this is still warm. I believe this is gonna get progressively hotter.
Hotter.
So what are you talking, like late 20s, 30s?
30s, early 30s.
In the 30s,
Yeah.
right. You see, no, that's in the hot category for me. 30 to 38 is hot. 38 to 45 is extremely hot.
Yeah, that's
45 and
insanity.
above is just bloody ridiculous.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's
The rock and roll.
rock and roll. Episode 93.
We clocking in.
What?
So
Again?
We're clocking them.
if we did it every day for the next week, we could make 100 by next weekend.
Yeah.
So next Saturday, 100th episode, people. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
I think we'll be able
whatever.
to clock 100 before the end of the year for sure. Like if we're going at this pace,
How many weeks have we got left? We've got enough weeks.
I think we've got about 10, more than 10.
Yeah. I think it was 14 weeks. It's 13 weeks now.
13 weeks.
Two.
Yeah.
I think. How's my maths?
That'll be week 42.
Okay.
So 14 weeks.
Yeah.
14 weeks,
there you
yeah.
go. There you go. No, 10 weeks. If it's 42, if it's week 42 and
There's
week
your
50.
maths. Well done, you passed.
Oh, yes, baby.
You didn't get
Can you
caught up
remember
there.
talking about maths? Can you, were you there when Mrs. Smith was there? She was the maths teacher. She was my standard 7, grade 9 teacher. Who was our maths? Remember, we didn't even have a maths teacher in matric.
And it's such a blur, those years.
Do you guys actually remember that stuff?
I
Well-
remember the some of the naughty stuff. I don't remember the date. I think I was struggling the other day to think of the name of our accounting teacher. Was it Van Zale? And then as Prinsloo was the English teacher.
Yeah, but remember, we used to have Mrs. Dean.
Oh,
Remember
Dean.
our 6
Dean the
week,
Machine.
our 6 week stretch of getting kicked out of class
Kicked out every day, yeah.
every day. Didn't even make it to the desk.
You guys got
Yeah.
kicked out.
Esther and Andre, stop talking.
It was
Out
it was
my
ridiculous.
class.
I mean, we were just getting
No.
kicked out.
Like left, right,
That
and
day
center.
we got kicked out before we even put our bags on our desk.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
Mm.
And it was just like routine. It was like, okay, all right,
Okay.
we're off again.
Yeah. Can you remember bunking science?
Yes, I knew this was coming.
What was the guy's name?
Visser.
Mr. Visser. That was good days. Good days.
But what did you
Anyway.
guys do when you went bunking? Like, where did
We
you
used
go?
to because we were prefects. We used to have there was a prefect room behind the stage. You know, like behind the stages.
Behind the hall, yeah.
Yeah, they had like these rooms that people would get changed in or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever, like the green room kind of
They
thing.
were officially music rooms.
Okay, music rooms. There you go. And we used to go. One
yeah.
of the rooms was our prefect
Okay.
room. Yeah, we could go till there during break, or while bunking class.
You guys didn't at that stage have a computer lab where you can where you can go and like place.
Did we have
Rise of
computers? We didn't
Triads.
have computers.
You
in
guys
school.
didn't have
The school got their first computers when we were in our last year.
Okay.
And I remember the first time we went in there. I think we went in there once.
Mm.
And some of us already had some basic level knowledge. And it was like, oh, these are very expensive. Don't touch them.
Mhm.
And we're like, okay. And all we did was, they used to have those little turbo buttons on the,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
it? Overclock.
and the teacher's like, okay, push the power button and just sit back. Don't touch the keyboard. Don't touch anything. And we just sat there and we just went, turbo, 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 turbo on, turbo off. Doesn't make any difference, miss. Don't break them. Very expensive.
But do you
And
remember
I
what
think we
was?
got as far as booting them up, and that was it. All right, class, that's all for today.
So what was it, guys? Do you
Wow.
remember? It was like 286s.
Yeah, it probably was.
Okay.
I don't even know if it was a 286.
Like
Yeah.
running Windows 3.1, or was it
No,
still like
not
DOS?
even Windows.
It was a DOS-based thing.
DOS. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Windows only really started coming out like 91, 92, where
Yeah, it's
people were starting
couple of
to
years
put
later.
that. Yeah.
I first saw the Windows logo in '92.
I can remember going to visit Kilmartin at Varsity at like 3:00 in the morning. It was like Tuesday night, because student night was Tuesday night at Late Night Ells in Bremer Lake.
Oh yeah.
And old Jerry and I went to Gate Crash Andrew, and he was like flipping still he was dossing, and we were like, hey, clunk, 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 clunk on the door. Wake up, didn't learn, and then he's, oh, hey man, you got a computer, start the computer. Hey, you got Windows 3.1.
Windows for work groups.
Yeah.
I did the banging on his door once, and I knew he was in there,
Yeah.
but he was entertaining
Some-
and didn't leave any signs
A
on the
lady.
door.
Yeah, he didn't leave the scarf on the door.
I was not in his good books.
No, I'm sure. And that was probably, remember her name?
I don't.
Okay, guys, you're going too far now.
Yeah, I know. If
Okay,
Andrew's
we're going too
watching.
Going
Yeah.
too far.
Yeah.
Don't get anyone in trouble now.
Okay, let's not name drop here.
Yeah, no, we're not.
yeah.
That's what I say. I know. I remember the name, but I'm not dropping it. Anyway, cool.
Remember what they say. Loose lips sink ships.
Like, I wonder where you got that from.
I wonder.
Have you been watching like war movies or something?
Yeah, no.
No, I've been just watching vision boards.
So, Lester, how was your week?
Being fairly intense this week. Yeah.
Has it? You still
Yeah.
working from home, traveling to London?
I went to Munich on Monday, came back Tuesday, worked from home Wednesday, Thursday. Friday I went into the London office, caught up with some people Friday night.
Drinks after work.
We went axe throwing, yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's where the X train came from. Cool.
which I naturally won, It was
Yeah,
ridiculous because I got picked to go up first because you get a little practice round to get used to the axe and how this all works. I was rubbish. I was absolutely diabolical.
Were you
The axes were just bouncing off the target. I mean,
mm,
and I was like, come on, man. We're better than this. So as the night wore on, there's different rounds. You go against different people, and then I got better and better. And I feel a bit bad now because I was so bad. Everyone was. There was another what? 8 people there.
Were you hustling? Like,
No.
have you done this before? Or beginner's
No.
luck? Beginner's luck.
Well, the beginner's practice round I had about 10 practice throws, 5 more than everyone else. Nothing was sticking. And then when it counted, it all came together. Big match temperament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under pressure.
Under pressure.
Talking about Friday evening activities and hustling, can you remember the good old days when we used to go down to the cinemas in Woodbank and go play pool? Put some money on the table.
Yes. How good is your pool these days? Wind forward the clock 30 odd years.
I've got to tell you a story. I don't like what's it, bragging or whatever. So,
okay, so we won't
I don't
we'll just change
play
the subject.
I don't play pool. No, I don't play pool that often. Okay. But
Sure.
Some years ago, we had like a Christmas Eve party at my cousin's place in Cape Town. And he's got a pool table and his mates were around and whatever. And there was one of his mates that I later found out was like one of those hot pool players. And he'd like unbeaten kind of thing. And I think I, when you play, whoever wins keeps the table kind of thing.
Stays on.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
doing that thing. He had a nice bar and, he's got his pool table there. And I think I won 10 games in a row,
Wow.
including clapping him a couple of times.
Wow.
So 2
And-
questions.
Yes.
Wow. We're looking at some serious pool hustlers here.
So
Yeah.
how drunk was he?
No, I don't think he was that drunk. Well, the question was how drunk was
It's
I?
a pertinent question, and I'll explain why in a minute.
Yeah, no, I think
And
we
how
were
much
all.
banter was it? Did you get into his head? Was this a psychological victory?
No, it was just one of those quiet.
You couldn't miss.
Well, so I play in a particular way. Is that I set up all the pockets.
Okay, you block the holes, right?
Well, no, I don't necessarily block them, but I don't go for the shot first time round. I go and I just place it there,
Sure.
clink, clink,
Yeah.
clink, and then ding, 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 ding,
And then you finish off from one
and
guy,
I
you
finish.
smash all
Yeah,
seven. Okay.
basically, yeah.
And then get stage fright in the black.
Sometimes, I had a couple of lucky shots there. I have to say, on the black.
Okay.
Can you remember a guy by the name of Robbie Roberto?
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, he was
I don't know why.
He was a guy in Witbank. I also used to play pool with him. Him and I used to play, in a team, and basically play for money.
Where did you play? At the
Same
Rec?
place. Yeah, same place at the cinema. Yeah. But he could play pool. He could play pool. Yeah.
So he carried you.
Something like that. I was a good wingman. Good wingman.
I am at a practice. We used to play a lot in my 20s.
Mm.
And yeah, the more you play, the better you are. But nowadays, and it's the same with any of the pub sports other than cribbage, but darts or pool, it's that kind of stuff. I'm pretty rubbish for 3 pints.
And then ching ching.
And between 3 and 5.5 pints, I am epic. And then after that,
That
5.5 onwards, I
shit.
just plummet.
Crash and burn. Yeah.
And it's been consistently proven over the years, so I'm sticking with it, even though my eyesight's failing.
Well, I mean, you talk about eyesight. I think that's one of my biggest problems now when playing pool, is that like when you're setting up a shot, like sometimes you're looking over your glasses, so I can't actually see very well.
Yes.
So that's part of the problem. Listen, and then playing tennis is a nightmare, dude. Because, like for a moment I can see the ball, and then all of a sudden I can't see the ball anymore.
Okay.
Especially like if I play with my glasses, I'm useless because I'm constantly losing that sort of depth.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
I've realized this because we used to play. We had a table tennis table at work, in the London office, and we, in the days when we used to spend a lot of time there, it got quite competitive. And everyone's game just went up a notch and a notch. And it was just every competition, every day. All day there's somebody playing there, just getting practice in for when it counts.
Yeah.
And so it was tight. There was good players. It was like almost Olympic level if you watch it. The constantly smash back and forward.
Yeah.
The spin. it was awesome to watch. Going forward, post COVID, I had a game earlier in the year. It's like, come on, for old time's sake, wipe the dust off this old tennis table. I couldn't see anything right near me, like anything over here. So I could see where he's hitting it to me, and I can see if he's got spin and stuff. So I'm ready. But when I go to smack it, I'm kind of going just on where I think it's going to be. Yeah, I just blame COVID, not age.
Yeah, this is out of practice. Absolutely. And yourself, Ulrich, you sports-wise, how things are going? You go running with your dog every morning?
Yeah. I'm still running.
Sweet.
I'm still running. I'm still swimming. Yeah.
Dare we mention the ice dip challenge?
The ice dip challenge.
From was it last year? Or the year
Yeah.
before?
But that wasn't the ice dip.
Hey, look at him!
It was
Oh
just.
my gosh, he's pulling
Look at
amps.
him!
It was just cold water. It was just cold water, but it was properly cold. But it was actually quite nice. It was actually quite
Did
cool.
we ever get to the bottom of, did you achieve the task or not?
I think I surpassed the task because I did it for like
Surpassed. Whoa!
I surpassed the task because like I think I did it for like 2 months flat.
Every day. Well,
Every
I think
day.
was this. There was no video evidence, and that was the controversy. There
Yeah,
was
yeah,
early on,
yeah.
and then you just like, "Huffle with this."
No, it's a pain to actually film it. It was a pain to film it, so I filmed it like occasionally just to send it to you guys. But you can ask my wife. Like I did it for like 2
No, you can't
months.
do that because she'll obviously vouch for you.
No, she won't. Trust me, she won't. she will verify only the factual information, right? I
Okay,
did it
this
for
is
like,
not my battle. I'm going to put it to the Bearded Fen. Are you happy that Oleg did what was required of the task?
Well, part of the requirement of the task was the video evidence, but
There we go.
I'll accept that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. However, unfortunately, the results of that is not me jumping off Orlando Towers. Unfortunately,
bungee jumping. Nobody in bungee
Yeah,
You don't have to
jumping.
jumping
jump.
with
You
a
know,
cord
it's bungee
attached to
jump.
my
It's not.
feet.
You're not throwing yourself off to plummet to your death.
No.
I mean, that wouldn't.
But you know what
that
I
wouldn't be
mean.
cool.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word bungee jump because then I start perspiring and it's already quite warm here.
Look. The deal was that like the deal was centered around me doing it, not me filming it, right? So like I did it. I actually overdid it. So like what we can do is we can modify the initial agreement. Like when we do go bungee jumping next weekend, we don't have to film your bungee jump. Like you can just do it.
Help me out here, Lester.
All right, and I'm going to draw a line under this. The deal was at that time, it was every day, and you had to provide photographic video evidence. That was how it was stipulated, because there's no trust here.
Thank you, Lester. Your check is in the post. Oh, that's great. I love it.
But there is, however, coming, right?
What? Evidence.
Not, but there is, however, coming, right?
However what?
However, since I did do it,
Like I said, dude. Lester, help me out there. Sorry, changing the subject. Do you
I'm
ever?
going to leave you for 2 seconds to fetch my coffee, and when I come back, this needs to be done.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
Okay,
change.
so-
I'm going to change the subject.
okay, before we do,
He's gone.
before we do,
Run, Lester, run.
no, Andrew, before we do, like, are you keen to do it?
No.
Just be honest with you.
No, I'm not. Really, I'm not.
Okay, how
Just be
about
honest.
Just be honest.
just okay? So you're not keen to do it from Orlando Towers? Can we pick something that's
Nah, dude.
smaller than Orlando Towers? Like, can we pick?
I'm feeling lightheaded already. Anyway,
Okay, so-
But you're quite happy to ride a bike across a very tight road up a mountain pass.
Yeah, I shit myself when on the left hand side or the right hand side is
A
bit
sheer
of a
drop.
drop. Yeah.
Okay, so how about this, right? Let's just make it easy, right? You know the Ellis Park swimming pool's got a 10-meter diving board.
Yeah.
Got a 10-meter diving board. Let's go there like next week Saturday.
No,
Climb up.
dude, I can't. Like
Climb
my
up.
He hates
mind-
water as well.
My mind just does not. I can't. My mind just goes. Zzz.
It's totally safe. You don't need to
I'll
like do
probably
a
fall
dive.
off the side before I even get to the front.
Slip off the side.
But it's all over the pool, and the water there is like 4 meters deep. So you're gonna be cool. Just don't belly flop.
Sorry, I'm just gonna do some heavy breathing. Just to,
It's only 10 meters, dude. Like it's only a
but
height.
like it's only 10 meters. I mean,
It's only a height of like I don't know, a 4-story building.
Okay. We've
He's
done our
actually-
duty here.
He's actually sweating.
to remind a certain fan that this topic is not going to ever go away, but we need to touch on it every now and then just to make sure that we know when you're ready. All right, no. Let's change the topic.
Yeah, can I change the topic just quickly?
Yes, please.
So do you ever, sometimes I go onto Facebook Marketplace and I just, to see what's out there, different cars, computer stuff, camera, or, like GoPros or whatever. Every now and again I come across something that blows my mind.
For sale,
How much
and you
do
go off
you
and
think
impulse
it
buy
costs? No. Jesus,
Oh,
I
okay.
can't impulse buy. How much do you think a really nice? Let's see if I can find a nice photo of this and see if I can show it. Like, can you see that?
That's a boat
Yeah,
with
How mu-
engines. I can't see.
yeah. It's got an inboard engine. How much do
Okay.
you think something like that costs?
I wouldn't know. What would I pay for it? How old is it?
Let me see.
It looks relatively new.
Yeah,
It looks
it's-
clean.
Doesn't. So it's got a 6.2 liter Mercedes V-drive engine in it. It doesn't give a year.
I mean, it's mostly about the engine, though.
Yeah. Yeah. How much would you drop for that?
It's actually 2022. It says on the ad.
Oh, there,
2022.
2022. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like
Brand new.
brand new
Call
second
it
hand.
brand new.
Yeah.
They used it once, fell overboard, never touched it again.
Yeah. Couldn't afford the repayments.
I shouldn't laugh.
Well, when you find out the
Um,
price, you might not laugh.
I might find a new hobby.
Yeah. And it ain't going to be boating. Anyway, I'll put you out of your misery.
I
if
would
you
say.
fashion
Hang on,
a
let me
guess.
just. So you wanted in rands, so it's probably about, I don't know, 12,000, 15,000 pounds. Sorry, my maths is
So
not
half a
good
million
today.
rand. 600, 700,000 rand.
Well, I was thinking more 300,000 rand, but okay.
Okay.
Scare me.
1.1 million rand.
What?
Yes.
That must be the world's best trailer.
Shit.
What?
Yeah. I was actually quite shocked at how much boats cost.
Yeah, boating is expensive.
And the thing
hobby.
is that it's the kind of asset that depreciates rather quickly.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So that's the price of this one careful, one use boat, secondhand. So if you wait a year,
Maybe
It'll
pick
be
it up
less
for
than-
650.
yeah,
Yeah, well there you go.
but still,
1.1.
if that's the price, that means people are willing to pay that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, true. But I mean, I'm just shocked at how much they cost.
Put that in context. What else can you buy for that money?
You can most
Well, look, I
likely
mean, you
buy
can-
BMW X3.
Yeah, well, you can buy yourself a Defender, entry-level Defender, new one.
Or you can buy yourself a lower mid-tier house.
Or, yeah, Land Cruiser.
No pool,
No
Yeah,
pool.
no
just a
pool.
washing line.
Just
Yeah.
a washing line. Yeah, well, there you
Hang
go.
on, what a big. Sorry, there's a South African. What was it? Windy dryer.
Windy dry.
A windy dryer is only it's a concept, a name that's only used in South Africa.
a
From what
whirly
I'm told.
dryer. Yeah, windy dryer.
Anyway, we digress. So
Yeah, we digress.
if you look at the size of the engine on the what was it, the X5 you mentioned, size of that engine and the comfort of that vehicle, compare that to the boat, doesn't stack up to me.
I'm pretty sure the guys that would buy that type of boats are the guys who are already driving the X5.
Well, this is the thing. Like, you've got to remember to pull that boat in and out of the water and get it there to the dam. You need one of those cars.
Yeah.
So you're probably in for about 2, maybe 2.5 million rand if you wanted to pull that thing.
But
Yeah.
boating is pretty big in SA because of the access to both the Atlantic and the Indian, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and
a
also,
lot of
well, I mean,
people
that
have
And
thing.
boats.
inland dams, right? There's a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of big
that would
dams.
be Vol River, Vol Dam kind of stuff, I would imagine.
So you
you
don't
know,
think that's like for the
wakeboarding.
ocean?
No, that's I don't think it's a seagoing one.
Okay.
I'd hate to ask how much a seagoing one costs. Yeah, go do some.
But how did you come across that?
No, it just came
Oh
up.
dear, he's pulling amps as well. This reminds me of when I was doing a road trip down the Florida Keys. Just throw that in there.
Yeah, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
living
Oh, that was
living the
awesome.
high
If you ever
life.
get a chance to do it, it's a good little road trip. Anyway, so I flew in on a Friday, and I was heading down the Keys along with loads of people who was going down the Keys for the weekend, Americans. And so I saw loads of these guys who are clearly experts at this. So they had their pickup trucks, which are those kind of buckies with not just 4 wheels, but there was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 wheels. 10 wheels extended
Wow.
base
Wow.
buckies towing
That's next level.
a boat. Sorry, no, let me get this right. Towing a caravan, like a Winnebago kind of style that you hitch on. It's not
Yeah.
just like a sleeps 2, it sleeps 10
Yeah.
and has a lounge and everything else. On the back of that, a massive boat. 4 big outboard engines hanging off the back of this chunky
Wow.
thing,
Wow.
full of fishing rods and stuff. And on the back of that was another trailer
What?
with
Is that legal?
That's crazy, dude.
with jet skis and quad bikes on it.
Wow.
This whole train is like 30 meters, 40 meters, must be more. I mean, when they overtake. And these buckies, I should even call them that. These are proper mean pickup trucks. They have no problem overtaking. They are so powerful, even with all this behind them.
Wow.
And I felt inferior just driving there in my rental car.
What were you
It's
driving? Like
I'm
a
not
Toyota
ready for this.
Corolla?
Everybody else is prepared. What am I driving into?
No, what were you driving? Like a Corolla?
I had a small SUV and I felt tiny. I felt like I was driving a hairdresser's car. Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have gone for the Mustang.
Drop top.
So just thinking about the price of all of that, that's ridiculous.
Mm.
And this is just for a weekend jolly.
And then you still need to buy all the other stuff that goes with it, like
Yeah.
the wakeboard and the skis and the stuff that goes with it. Yeah, anyway, that just came up. I thought I'd drop that bombshell.
I know this, well, I haven't seen him for a while, but this guy who had this habit. He'd go out drinking on a work do or whatever it was. He was in sales. He was always out entertaining. But he had this habit of getting home drunk, and he'd go on eBay. And we go, yeah, sure, whatever, So you should have gone to bed, but no, you stay up. And you go shopping or browsing. He called it browsing. But he had this habit of always buying stuff. So he'd wake up, the next day or a few days later, some random stuff gets delivered to his house. He doesn't remember buying it.
Yeah, that's hectic. That's a hectic habit, dude.
Yeah, but this went on for ages. We always used to laugh at him. And I mean, it wasn't an everyday occurrence. It was every now and then.
Yeah.
And then one day he confessed, guys, I've made the worst, because it was always like accessories, the race car unit for his PlayStation. It's that kind of, oh yeah, I could use that. And then it got random and more random to stuff he's like, what? I don't even know what this is. He won the last one that I remember, where I think he actually stopped doing this. He made an effort to delete the app. He bought this fluorescent lime green Mini.
Like as
think it
in
was a
a real car.
Like a real car. And a
On
few days
eBay?
later, it was delivered. Yeah,
Can you do that on
was-
eBay?
yeah.
Wow.
You can in the UK, I think. So this thing arrives, and it's like, I'm going to drive that. It's got like a horrendous speed stripe flame down the side kind of thing.
It could go far. Now, was this a newer model Mini, or was it like an old, like the original?
It was, from what I could gather, it was a new model, but it had modifications that were poorly done. So
it didn't come across in the photographs.
I mean, if you let's just say no.
No.
But if he's buying this car, he wasn't focusing on this anyway. And I can bet, and he's like, oh no, I'm sure I fell asleep and just pushed yes, buy.
Yeah.
But it was a
Crazy.
bidding thing, right? So
Yeah.
you bid and you don't know if you won or not. He never checks his emails.
Oh,
He sends it to some Hotmail account that he never looks at. So he doesn't know about this stuff. And here we go.
Shit.
This car gets delivered.
Yeah, that's hectic, dude.
So we all laughed at him, and then he kept it. He kept it. He maintained it. He fixed it, and
wow.
I haven't seen it for a few years. He might still have it.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't drink, kids. It's
Yeah,
it's
thank
not good.
God we don't.
expensive.
We can't use eBay here. Well, we can, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't think you can.
they're not
buy
going
a
to
car.
deliver a car. to
I
you.
don't think you can buy a car. I think it's
Yeah.
like, but I mean, like with our online shopping, I think the market is pretty much dominated by like Takealot.
Take a look, yeah.
Is there anyone else?
Well, I see Bearded Fen has now joined with another company, and now they're going to take on Takealot. And there was another website that was released, I don't know, at the beginning of this year.
Yeah,
Can't even remember what the name is.
I also can't. I know there was somebody else.
That doesn't bode well for the success of this organization.
No, it
No.
doesn't.
but
Amazon? Do we have Amazon?
Amazon are talking about coming in 2023, but they were having a problem with securing land for a warehouse down in Cape Town. And
Really?
Yeah, they were, because there was issues and whatever, they said they were going to pull out. So now you ask yourself the question is there some sort of something happening in the background that someone is dragging their feet to protect Takealot?
For sure.
Yeah. But
It's hard for international companies to come into South Africa, though, and just set up
Yeah.
operations.
yeah, true.
Unless you know the country, how it works.
Well, look, I mean, Amazon as a company has been operating out of Cape Town for a while. But
What,
I mean,
as in the online shop, or
No,
as
no,
in
no, no.
Web
other
services.
no,
parts
no,
of
no.
Amazon?
Like Amazon Web Services, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all over the country.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is at least the companies in the country, they're operating in the country,
You got a footprint.
they might have been checking
Yeah,
it
but
out
it's
for the last couple of years. See
Different
what the,
divisions.
yeah.
They don't really
Maybe.
talk to each other, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe.
But okay,
It might be.
yeah, sure. I'm
But
just
here's an
wondering. I mean,
interesting-
the success of Amazon is about the logistics. It's not just been the ease of purchase.
I think the price as well. The price is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think-
can they guarantee logistically delivering it?
Well, this is the thing. This other company, this Bearded Fen that's joined with this other company, the other company is a logistics company. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, that's what Takealot did as well. They bought Mr. Delivery, and they use, so basically they've got this network out of the box to
Okay.
deliver stuff. Yeah.
No, just look at our roads here, and Amazon, because of the volumes that they're doing, they have their own fleet of vehicles
Yeah.
that deliver, and they're just like, well, that's an easy hijack right there. Yeah,
Mm.
big logo on the side of the van. Here we go.
Well, I mean, that was the problem that arose during lockdown. Is there was this uptick in online shopping,
Yeah,
and
Sure.
a lot of these courier companies were being held up as they're delivering goods to guys' houses. Yeah.
nice.
Electronics. Well, I mean, remember that video we watched where the guy was driving the Land Cruiser, and then there was that whole shootout. They were escorting some delivery.
Cash in transit, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't cash and transit. It
It
was cell
wasn't?
phones.
What?
Cell phones.
All of that for cell phones?
Yep. Well, I mean, think about. I mean, cell phones are high ticket items. Then. I mean, you're looking at 20. I mean, if they're all, let's say they're all the latest model iPhones.
It's more than
Yeah.
20K.
I mean, that's 30K's worth of,
a pop.
yeah. And I mean, it's in a box this big.
Yeah. Okay,
So I mean,
Little gold
if
bars,
you
yeah.
think, well, I mean, think about if you took the height of a iPhone box, bearing in mind that they don't put the charger in anymore, it's fairly small, thin. I mean, if you had a wad of $200 notes, I mean, how much is that worth? I mean, it's probably worth about the same maybe the same amount of money, there or thereabout. So you can see how all of a sudden cell phones could become a high-ticket item, over and above normal cash in transit. Because perhaps they don't have the same level of security, like hardening of the truck that's transporting it or whatever. I mean, I don't think that they are delivering cell phones in cash in transit vans. I don't think so.
No.
Maybe
There
I'm
might
wrong.
be now.
Yeah, there might be now.
No, but I think the issue to solving this problem is to have like a phone protection features like what Apple does with their phone, where you can just lock it and that's it. It's useless.
Yeah, but the guys can hack that, man.
You think they can?
Yeah, listen.
I think it's
that was
still-
listen, think about
Yeah.
this. If, really think about this.
Mm.
Okay, it's got IMEI number.
Mm.
Okay, so the cell phone company has the ability to block the cell phone. So if the cell phone's stolen, you phone your cell phone company, say, listen, my phone's been stolen. Theoretically, they're supposed to blacklist that phone. If that was the case, why would why would someone steal a phone? Because half an hour, 2 hours, maybe 4 hours later, the phone is useless. Why is it that they still get stolen?
I don't think the cell phone company is actually blocked in that. Blocked.
That might be the case. But
Yeah.
me personally,
It's
I've
in
got
their
an
best interest to
iPhone.
sell
I
more.
can. Well, me personally, I've got an iPhone. I can remotely block it. So take the cell phone company out of the equation.
Yeah.
Why do people still steal cell phones?
I don't
If
think they
people
steal
can do that.
iPhones.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, I don't think they steal iPhones because
So
like,
just Samsungs then, or
it's mostly Android phones that get stolen.
cool.
I'll tell you a story afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
About your wicked crime days of the Nokia 3310s.
It was actually Sony Ericsson.
Don't say
Do you remember
Motorola,
those guys?
please.
Do you remember those guys?
Yeah.
I mean, just talking about cell phones, how many companies actually went under like over the last 20 years that were around in the market?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember how big Sony Ericsson, Motorola used to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're still around in some shape or form, but like nowadays,
Yeah.
all the big guys.
I suppose the most high profile one was Nokia.
Nokia, yeah.
Yeah.
And BlackBerry.
BlackBerry.
Yeah. If you were the hot shot in the corporate world, like you're always backing the BlackBerry, right?
Yeah. Well, because I suppose they offered features that, from a corporate point of view, from a business point of view,
Was the
that-
first phone that you could do email properly on.
yeah, company email and
Yeah.
Exchange.
give them the ability to manage and control it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And then there was a BBMS, right?
Yeah,
BlackBerry.
the BlackBerry messaging system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose that was like the precursor to things like WhatsApp and iMessage and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But where do you guys think they're going with the phone market? I mean, like if the trend was that the companies that were around, like let's just say 10 years ago, okay, it's more than 10 years, but like for the argument's sake, were around 10 years ago, are no longer around or no longer in the same shape or form. Like what do you think is going to happen in the future? Do you think like we'll get to a stage where Samsung will just going to disappear, like as a mobile manufacturer?
Maybe. I mean, it would be wrong for me to say I don't think it's possible because
Yeah.
you take BlackBerry. Who would have thought that BlackBerry would have seen their what now?
With that, your phone makes a noise.
Yeah. I need to take a.
You just added BlackBerry to your shopping list.
No. So have you heard about?
That's funny.
Have you heard about Be Real? There's this new app, social media app called Be Real.
No.
And like the whole, some of the conversation around social media is, well, on Instagram, when you look at someone's profile, they're only displaying their best life or whatever,
Sure.
right? So Be Real is this kind of thing where you sign up for the app at random times during the day. It will send you a message and say, okay, you need to take a photo now. Okay.
Oh, right.
And so you take a photo of what you're doing right now. So that's why it's called Be Real, right? So I take, and then at times you've only got a certain amount of time to.
Does this link them with your Tinder profile?
Nah, I don't know about that. But so the whole idea is that it's like right then and there you show what you're doing. You could be.
I mean, I like
hanging
the
up your
concept,
washing
but
or
I
whatever.
wouldn't want to be a slave to it.
Yeah, sure
Can you
enough.
imagine,
But I mean,
you get a message while you're in the bathroom, doing your business?
Oh,
or
Jesus,
while
not
you're
that.
doing, or while you're doing a podcast.
Or well, the podcast is one thing, but like while you're in the bathroom,
Yeah. Well, give it a minute or two. So TikTok.
So do you need to take a profile picture?
Yeah. I do. TikTok has now jumped onto this bandwagon, and there's a new app called TikTok Now, which is basically Be Real but by TikTok. Okay.
Well, this is an extension of live, isn't it?
So I'm going to take a photo.
You need more light.
And now you need to. Right, so that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, would you like to know what the most ridiculous thing is?
Go on.
Is that I've done this every day. Let's see.
So it's once a day check-in, at
Yeah,
least.
Yeah. So let me go back here. I'll go to. I never know how to.
Explore.
Yeah. So, as you can see, I skipped one day.
Yeah.
Be
And-
real, man.
Be Real, yeah. So there you go. I've taken a photo every day, most days,
I can't see.
since I
So-
started.
I mean, I'm sure, considering I see you once a week, I mean, you don't change that much.
I like how
It's when you start
low-tech-
realizing, gee, am I wearing this T-shirt again?
I love how low tech Andrew's like putting himself in the front of the camera.
Well, what must I do? How do I get everyone to see it?
Just sync it with Teams.
Oh, well, I suppose I could. Shit! Are we going to do this now?
No, we're not.
No,
because
no,
it
we're
never
not. We're
works.
not. No,
Well, we
don't
ask you
don't
for
touch
technical
anything.
failures. Oh, he's trying it. Oh no! All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, like we'll be busy for a while.
Okay. Well,
clearly
you're
like
not
using
going to
these apps.
stop now. So I'll let you carry on, and Oleg and I are going to talk about Formula One.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay,
Oh, no,
okay, what's
well,
happening?
Let's not talk about Formula. Oh, well done, Max.
Yeah, give it a toss.
All you
So
guys
Formula
that were-
One. Well, the trend that I mentioned last time is happened again in Japan. That my number 2 team seems to be getting all the points, and therefore my number 1 team is falling behind, further and further behind Oleg's best team. So Oleg is getting further and further ahead overall for the season. So he's still number 1. But now my number 2 team is now catching my number 1 team. and if this trend continues, Oleg will win by miles, and it'll be a battle for second and third between my 2 teams.
And Andrew will be fucked.
Well, if you want to
Lester?
talk about it,
Lester?
No,
I
I
mean,
don't want to.
Lester, this look on my face is definitely not smugness.
definitely not. No, I wouldn't have said that. I mean, there's probably a better emoticons out there to reflect how you feel.
I feel like the person that knows the least about the F1 to the F1 challenge, proving the Murphy's Law, right? Or whatever law that is.
This is like the Coke test challenge all over again.
Yeah, it's beginner's luck thing, you know?
So, yeah, well, the Bearded Fen, despite coming last and second last for his Team 3 and Team 2, his Team 1 had a better week. Had a better week. I don't know sure how to describe this. He beat your worst team, Oleg,
Okay, no.
this week.
There's a certain solace in that, right?
I mean, it's kind of like a sympathy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my worst team there. You can take that one.
Sorry, were you guys saying something?
Yeah, no.
Andrew,
Yes.
there's always next season, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm looking ahead to next season. That's not very-
But can I ask
Have
you
you
what?
got it working yet?
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't want to scan the QR code.
He's gonna break something now.
Dude, we're only 7 weeks from Christmas. No, we're not. We're 9 weeks from Christmas.
Well, did you see the photo I sent?
No, being already again. We'll get over that.
Yeah.
The worst part for me, and I don't want to be a grouch because it's National Don't Be a Grouch Day. The worst part for me is that when all the shops start playing the Christmas music,
yeah, they haven't started.
and
that
it's the
yet.
same stuff over and over again, to the point you go, oh, I can't take this more. I'll leave this shop. And you go to the next shop,
And they play the
and
same
they've
song.
just started playing the same song.
That's
It's like,
crazy.
Because they're
That's
all
crazy.
connected to the same flipping system.
They all play the same
So-
old stuff.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Last year I noticed that it wasn't a big thing to play the Christmas music.
Wasn't it?
Uh,
Well, to the point where I'm just not going to go to shops anymore, and that'll kill me. Not going to the shops is not going to kill the retail industry, but I'm sure I'm not alone.
yeah, so it's going to be a
So
tough
maybe
one.
there is something to be said about doing your Christmas shopping halfway through the year, so you don't have to endure all this stuff come November, December.
Do you think you'll be able to do it online? I'm pretty sure you'll be able to just do the stuff online. No.
I do my Christmas shopping either at the Shell Select shop
Okay.
or online.
Okay, no, that's cool. That
on
means you
eBay.
On eBay.
On eBay.
Have you done it yet?
No,
Have you synced?
it's not working.
You've given up.
It's not
There we
working.
go.
It's connected to my work laptop, so now I'm trying to connect it to my personal PC, and it's complaining about not being on the same Wi-Fi and. all that
There
shit.
we go.
Says
Security.
we ran into an issue trying to connect.
What's this Wii
Report
business?
issue.
I've noticed that
Microsoft.
it's always we this. It's none of this.
Aye.
You've pushed the wrong button, stupid user, or you are not ready for this.
Yeah.
You're not skilled enough to.
You
handle
cannot
what we're
handle
trying
the
to do.
truth.
Yeah, it's none of that. It's all this we business, but they're not actually helping.
I can imagine.
Oh, we have run into a problem with an error code that you can't recite, and you just what? Contact I am the administrator. Well, I'll phone myself. We're in this together. You phone me.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Like, it would be really cool if you see an error message. It's like, we suggest taking into account your limited skills and expertise. Do not push this button.
Which
We
means
strongly advise.
you are gonna push the button anyway.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what happens if I push this button.
Well,
Crazy
Microsoft
shit.
used to have this configuration thing where push OK to proceed, and then that would trigger another window to pop up to say, "Are you sure?" Push OK to proceed. I mean, you just need to do that in a constant cycle. Are you sure? Are you sure? Keep going.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
Are
100%
you
sure.
Okay. Push OK. Are you sure? We don't think you are. We don't think you are ready. Push the cancel button. Just push the cancel button.
So you
Just push
Right.
the
So what else has
cancel.
been going on, guys?
I'm trying to think of something that has happened recently that's rather interesting. Can't think of anything.
So, have you guys seen that Hagrid has died? Robbie Coltrane?
Yeah, that's really sad. Like, what actually
Yeah.
went down? Natural causes or like some sort of illness or?
He's apparently been ill for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's been infirm with some sort of disease. I don't know. He's been in a wheelchair for a while. I don't know if that's related. But yeah, he's been out of the spotlight for the last few years. He's been ill. Whether
Sad.
that was the cause of it or not, but yeah.
Really good actor.
Yeah, it is sad.
Really good actor.
We can never have any reruns or remakes of Harry Potter now.
Have you not heard of AI?
Well, to be fair, if they could do it with what was his name? That was in
Tom Cruise.
Nope.
What,
The
Top
Fast and
Gun?
the Furious.
There's one, the
Fast-
Batman movie, the
Heath Ledger.
Mm.
Heath Ledger
yeah,
from.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? He died during the making of the Mockingbird series.
Yeah, before my time, dude.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, but yeah, it's a good point. You know, we could recreate it with the footage that we have.
Well, there's a lot of. Now there's something we can talk about. There's quite a lot of stuff that's coming out on the AI front now. So, AI for copywriting, AI for generating art, AI for creating music, AI for creating like talking head videos.
Yeah.
You can even take a picture, give it a picture of yourself, and it'll put your face onto that person, onto that thing, and the voice, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, where is this going?
Black Mirror.
Well, is that AI or just augmented reality?
Well, I suppose if you want to discuss the definition of augmented reality.
I think we're going into like a really interesting new direction in terms of like we have all these tools, but we don't know how to combine them and use them yet. But I think that's coming. Eventually, somebody smart enough that's going to put together, different bits and pieces and create a really amazing product that's going to simplify our life to the point where you say, "Hello, Google," and then order me.
I knew that was going to happen.
and just looking at his phone. Hello, Google.
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google.
You see, the AI is working. It's not recognizing his voice. Because if I go, okay, Google, it worked.
Order Andrew a toilet paper from Take-A-Lot. And it orders you your favorite brand of toilet paper.
Yeah, your ultra soft velvet quilted.
Quilted triple ply. But you know what I mean. Eventually, somebody will be able to put together different tech from chatbot AI to these image simulation AI and voice recognition AI together into one product and create something really cool.
Well, I mean, at the moment, content creators are starting to use these tools, combining all these tools together. Because if you think about what do you need to create content? Okay,
Graphics.
You need graphics.
Yeah.
You need
Text.
it could be text, voiceover, talking head. So you can create a video without filming anything, creating the music yourself. I mean, obviously you can buy music online, pay a subscription and get. But I mean, you can come up with 100% unique graphics, music, text, and you can create content just using all those tools.
What was that
Combining
thing?
them.
About 50 episodes ago, we talked about, I think it was Microsoft that was looking to introduce the virtual meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you kind of have a hologram and you all feel like you're in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Microsoft Mesh, right?
Yep, that's the correct
Mesh.
Mesh.
Mesh. So there's a development on that side. They're going to integrate that into the latest Oculus software. So in other words, you'll be able to use Teams in an Oculus headset,
That's interesting.
the
dude.
current Oculus
Yeah.
headset, and then they bring out a new one which is going to be called the whatever Pro, and that's also going to be included in that. And then you can go into virtual meetings in Oculus.
Speaking of headsets, did you see Meta release a new version of their VR headset
Yeah, I
this
think
week, which
that's what I'm talking
costs-
about, the Pro.
costs 6 times the price of the last one?
Yeah, and
it
according
gives
to
you
Mark
peripheral
Zuckerberg, they're
vision.
not making any profit on that.
Oh, sure, Mark,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you just
Peripheral vision and VR, peripheral vision of where you actually are, and the VR combined. That's gonna mess with my head.
yeah. So let me Google that.
But I think, yeah, this is, as you guys are suggesting, this is interesting times. You know, the functionality is there. We're seeing it in fun stuff, but the
Yeah.
real world application of it, wow, there's possibilities. Let's see what they do with it.
Yeah. So, my concern with these things always is, we can see the benefit of it. Oh, great, we can use this for this, that, and everything else. But you think about the incorrect use of these kind of technologies. So, like, I could take a creative video that's Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or Bill Gates or whoever,
Yeah.
and I can create a video and put it out on YouTube. And as the AI gets better,
It becomes more realistic. Yeah.
it becomes more realistic and
Yeah.
very difficult for people to decide whether it's real or not.
Mm.
Yeah.
You've got to have that realization of what the line is, where the line is. You can't live in fantasy forever.
But I think it is a cool direction that the Meta is going into in terms of like supporting both AR and VR in the same headset. Because
Well, I was at I missed my train. Well, my train was cancelled last night, so I was stuck at a train station, and there's a lot of Meta adverts going on,
yeah,
and it's all about how this technology that they are releasing, how it helps the real world. And the two examples they gave on their adverts was surgeons can now practice a procedure 1,000 times in the virtual world before the real patient. School children can go back and live in history to learn the history.
I think that's amazing. Like the whole educational aspects of things in terms of like, because I think you learn very quickly through experiencing like just the visual aspect of stuff. I mean, you know what they say, like pictures worth 1,000 words. I mean, you can learn from like reading books and absorbing knowledge that way. But there's also like this other world of introducing this,
Like the actual experience. Like
the actual experience.
Augmented
experiential learning, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe like in that way, you don't need to like revise stuff hundreds of times before you actually get it, right? You basically, you just do the simulation once and you got like 80% or 90% of, the educational content that you need to absorb. I think it's really cool.
Right. Okay, so I've just Googled the Quest Pro VR headset.
Yeah.
So the new headset contains some mixed reality features that can blend elements from the virtual world with the physical world. Okay, so augmented reality. Microsoft also appeared during the online event to discuss the partnership with Meta to bring work collaboration apps to the Quest VR headsets. Great. Flippin' adverts. And to your point, Lester, yes, the new headset costs $1,100 more than the Meta Quest 2, so the Pro is now going to be $1,500.
I think it's still cheaper than the I think it's still cheaper than the Microsoft HoloLens 2.
Yeah, but so I don't know how what the augmented reality on this headset it's going to be like in comparison to the
HoloLens.
HoloLens, yeah. But it puts it up there at the similar price. I mean, what's a HoloLens now? Because
It's like $3,500 US
Oh, is
dollars.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last time I checked, it was about 3.5 or maybe more.
The last time you bought one, right?
Yeah, the last time.
No.
tried it.
Like that's way over my budget.
Yeah, $3,500.
Yeah.
So who they're targeting there? Because the novelty is kind of,
So-
the novelty of VR was a while back. Now it's about corporate usage,
It is
corporate application.
the
Yeah,
whole
so
think
the
that's where they're
industrial
going.
version is going to cost you $5,000.
200.
Yeah.
It's really interesting that they're using Trimble XR10, which is basically an engineering differential GPS system. So like for civil surveying and construction side. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's actually not that expensive if you consider the fact that the differential GPS set will run you into like almost $100,000.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't drop it.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
accidentally sit on it.
Yeah. So like if you think about it, 100,000 if you add $5,000 more to it, it's not a big deal.
About 3 years ago, I was on a cruise liner, and they've got an arcade for the kids.
Just
You go
drop that
play
in
arcade
quickly.
games. All right. It was in the nice little thing in the Caribbean. They got an arcade on the ship with games for kids, and
Yeah.
obviously thought I'd go and have a look to see what things were. It's been a long time since Donkey Kong. And yes, you could sit in a Jeep with VR headsets and you play your game driving this Jeep and getting away and shooting dinosaurs.
Sure.
That was the whole thing. And everyone who went on was just screaming.
Crazy.
And this thing was on hydraulics, so it was in tune with the game. The actual Jeep you're in. So
Yeah.
that was a bit augmented reality. But it's come a long way. Is this now the norm for future arcade games where you now not got a little screen inside of a box? You now got controls that are not buttons and joysticks. That are now more like fighter pilot joysticks. And you have VR on top of it. Just that's your screen.
Yeah.
I think to be a kid today, that would be
Ah,
cool.
yeah, exactly. And to have parents that can afford to buy it.
Yes,
all that
that was the
stuff.
next thing.
Yeah.
How much that's the start.
But-
This will become the norm in 10 years.
Lester, okay, like just a question for you guys. Don't you think we coming close to solving like the visual aspects of the puzzle? At least like the visual aspects.
Yeah.
In terms of the sensory simulation, right? I know we're still pretty far away from solving the actual like touch and feel and smell aspect, but at least from the visual and the audio perspective, we're coming close to solving that part of the puzzle.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just amazed at how your brain is short-circuited the moment that you put that VR headset on. I mean, initially, because I tried the Quest 2 last year in November sometime, so a year ago, and I hadn't done the VR headset thing for a while. And when you first put it on, you have this awareness of, okay, this is different. It's, like you can notice that the graphics aren't like clear, because obviously there's a bit of, not pixelation, but you can see the almost like linear lines. But about five or 10 minutes into it, like your brain is like short-circuited, and now you immersed in that environment. And I'm just amazed at how your brain is short-circuited like that. It's unbelievable.
You adjust quickly because
Yeah.
it is clean colors, clean. Everything is clean. That's what I said. There's no sort of soft edges and grading to the degree that if you ran your fingers over a piece of wood, you'd feel the grain. You can see the pictures of the grain,
Yeah.
but it's a bit edgy. It's not
Yeah.
soft and rough But
And also
that's when
there's
you
that
first put
concept.
the bloggers, you adjust to that and you go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, that's fine now.
But there's also that concept of where they've shown this. I mean, there are a couple of TEDx talks where guys demonstrate this. This whole
Yeah.
thing of not actually touching you, but people think that you, like, almost like when you're in that environment, that something comes in the virtual world and touches you, and that you actually feel it, even though there was no touching. So there's also that aspect as well in terms of how far do you need to go to make it that realistic that your brain is completely tapped into that.
I think it needs to be some sort of sensory suit that basically simulates, like touch and feel
Yeah, sure.
aspect,
But what I'm
as
saying
well as
is
the
how
glove.
far, like we would think that it would have to simulate something that's in the real world. But what I'm saying is that your brain is such that if it sees something, it anticipates that there's
Yeah,
going
it
to
does.
be a
It does.
sensory feeling to that. So in terms of how much technology has to advance to give you that full sense of experience might not be as far as we think it is, because of the fact that there's this this thing happening in the brain where we have this like sort of sensory thing. I mean, you take like, for instance, people that have had limbs amputated, where they can still feel that they're itchy
where there's nothing there. Yeah,
in a part of their body where they're not itchy.
isn't it called the ghost limb syndrome?
Yeah, something. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Did I tell you guys about the gadget show a few years back? They this is when VRs were just becoming mainstream for gaming and such. But they basically they wanted to see how far they could take this virtual reality world. It wasn't just about the headset putting you in this new dimension you could look around. So they wanted to play Call of Duty. So they got these suits and they built this like a travelator, but it's so as you could walk while you got this VR on, you could walk on this pad,
Yeah.
and if you change direction, the pad automatically adjusts. So
Yes.
you walk around, so you can walk around the scene. You can shoot, just recoil on the gun, and when you get shot, you feel it.
Yeah,
So
some sort of
so you've got this
bodysuit.
visual thing. You're feeling it. You're walking. And they got to the point where they had these sensors of if you got shot in the leg, you'd feel it in the leg, or shoulder, you'd feel it in the shoulder.
Yeah.
So
that's
they're like,
crazy.
the guy that was on it is like, he comes off and he's like, this is dangerous. I mean, this is awesome, but this is dangerous because if you're playing this all the time and you're getting shot, you might become immune to it and feel invincible, or you might actually die from a heart attack because it's that real, or you come off this and suffer from PTSD. So we've got to be careful here.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like the whole question of virtual reality and the next dimension of exploration that it introduces, like for all these issues. Because, yeah, I mean, it's still pretty easy to draw a line between, let's just say, a computer world that we're experiencing through the monitors and keyboards and mouse and other input devices, and like the VR world, because the VR world is like a next, it's a next dimension. I think augmented reality is kind of worse for me, and I'll tell you why. Is because that line between the virtual and the real becomes more blurred. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, you got to have that line. You got to know where that line is.
Yeah. So like if you have augmented reality, I think it's a cool concept, but it brings a lot of issues with it in terms of like, how do you draw that line? Because that line is no longer there because the virtual is in real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I suppose, let's talk about the applications of augmented reality. I mean, what do you think the potential uses are of augmented reality?
Definitely like have an AI companion type of thing.
Yeah, but
you'll have a virtual girlfriend, like you come back home and there's a virtual person waiting. Well, virtual, not person, AI waiting for you.
yeah,
It's like
but I mean,
asking
you could have that. You could have that in the VR environment. You don't necessarily, because I mean, augmented reality, and I mean, this is why I say we need to clarify what the definition of augmented reality is. augmented reality, up until now, the definition might be moving, is that augmented reality was almost like a heads-up kind of thing. So like when you talk about the HoloLens,
Yeah, that's
the
augmented.
HoloLens, yeah, that's augmented
Yeah.
reality. But I mean, what I'm saying is when you're talking about the example of the girlfriend, the virtual girlfriend thing, you could
Yeah.
have that in VR.
Okay,
It's
but that's
not-
different because then the line is there because you're still in the virtual world, right? So
Yeah,
for
but what I'm
example,
saying
say-
is your brain gets short-circuited. So
true.
you know, like when I think of augmented reality, I'm thinking of almost like the heads-up kind of thing. Like you're wearing something and there's information that's being overlaid
Yeah,
in the real world.
yeah.
So, simple example. Google Glass a couple of years ago did this like sort of demo video of what it could look like. So I'm wearing spectacles, whatever the technology is, I get a WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp message comes up on my screen. And
in front of you, yeah.
I can use a gesture and say, okay, reply, and then use voice activates and say, okay, I'm on my way. And then you can say, okay, Google, give me directions to the closest Starbucks.
And then you
And then
have
heads up
directions just
On
in
there,
front of you.
it'll
yeah.
say to you, thank you, Google. Right. So that's and then like in the work environment, I might be walking around a plant as an example. I look at a piece of equipment, right? And let's say it's either geofenced or there's a QR code or there's a NFC or there's some technology that detects that you're close to that piece of equipment. And what happens when I look at that motor, this heads up thing comes up and it says, oh, okay, this is that piece of equipment. And you say, okay, well, when last was it serviced? Brings up the information. Okay, and so, okay, how many hours has it been running? Okay. What has its utilization been? Okay, 80%, whatever. That's my view of augmented reality. Whereas other people are starting to talk about other things around augmented reality,
Like
and
what?
they starting to blur the sort of the definition of it. There was an example during the week that I saw a guy was talking about augmented reality, and the way that he was talking about it wasn't really what the true definition is at the moment. What was it that he was talking about? I forget now.
There's a huge variety of applications. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you think advertising, as you like walking around with the stuff of like, they just call it like almost like a Google Glass or
Yeah.
like glasses that
Yeah.
allow you to mix the real world and the virtual world, and then you'll have an advertising for something like
Yeah. So I
You
mean,
don't
they've been
actually have-
talking about. Okay, I mean, just I don't know if that's really going to come online, and the reason why I'll say that is because they've been talking about that technology for a long, long time. That concept of me being in a particular area and me getting a message to say, "Oh, these are the latest specials at your local fast food joint," as an example. I haven't seen that stuff come online mainstream.
in terms of the cell phone.
Yeah, in terms of the cell phone, like
Yeah,
as the cell phone, they have the ability to set that up. I could be in a particular place and I get a message, push message that says, "Okay, this is the deal," right? I mean, how many times have you had that happen to you
what for? If when I'm traveling
on your phone?
I never had
Like,
that.
have you
I
ever
never
got a
had that.
message on your phone that says, "Oh, there's this latest special"?
from like this restaurant that
Yeah.
you're very close to?
Yeah, it hasn't happened. I don't know why, because I think it would be something that people might be comfortable with. And I
But-
haven't seen that. There's only one instance, right? And the first time it happened, I thought, oh, that's odd. Second time, I was like, I'm in the same place. I got the same message, a similar message. And that was Uber Eats, right?
Oh wow!
So this is
I-
a bit like Pokemon Go. There's certain things in a certain place that would be triggered.
Yeah, so what happened was on William Nicol, there is, when you're driving down William Nicol and you're going to turn left to go to Santon, I realized there was an Uber Eats sign at that intersection.
Hmm.
And on a couple of occasions when I got to that intersection, I got a push message from Uber Eats to tell me what their latest specials were.
That is interesting, dude.
So it must have been geofenced.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've accepted all the cookies when you visited Uber Eats.
Well, I mean, I've got the app on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it open? Was it live?
No, well, I mean, it's obviously always running in the background.
It's always running in the background, and it's always taps
Well,
into
you
your...
choose that though.
Well,
Yeah.
well, this is it. You know, like who really checks? Like, okay, this app needs permission to this location, contacts, da 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 da. Yeah, often these apps are, you like download some arbitrary app and it says, okay, it wants access to your microphone and really?
location information.
But why,
Generally
no,
mo-
but the location I can understand. But my
Only
microphone?
while using the app.
Yeah.
That's But I mean, by default, people just go, bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, exactly.
We're in.
Exactly. You're in.
Yes, cookies, fine. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know
whatever.
about that. Look, I think it would be great. Augmented reality, heads-up display, information being fed to you. You know, like
I do tend to agree
at
with
this
you
time
guys,
of the
though.
day, you normally have your cup of coffee. You're walking down the street and it goes ding. Okay, there's a Seattle coffee 2 blocks away in case you want to have a cup of coffee.
And they're running a special.
And they're running a special.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
but I do agree with you guys. There's really good side of application, just like with any tech, and there is like this dark gray side, which can be used and abused. So like,
Jeez, dude.
the good side is really like improving productivity, quality of life for the people, allowing people to experience like different locations. Like you could walk down the Champs-Élysées in France. It's like in the virtual reality. And I mean, many people would not be able to like afford that type of experience in real life, but they can do it in the VR and get at least a feel for how it feels like, right?
Absolutely.
Or like
Can you still get your wallet stolen by pickpockets in the Champs-Élysées?
or like
It's all part of the experience.
Okay, the next one would be like doing a virtual tour of the Louvre or the British Museum. It's like such a cool thing, you know?
Can I tell you what the coolest thing was? So I bought one of those Samsung headsets, VR headsets, some
Yeah.
years ago. You know,
Yeah.
plug your phone in, whatever. The coolest app on there, I mean, besides those kind of things you're talking about, those virtual tours around the world, go to the pyramids, that kind of thing, be in an hot air balloon, was Google Street View. You could go anywhere in the world and stand there in the middle of the street and look up and down the street.
That is cool, dude.
It was, I mean, it's so simple. And you think, oh, well, I mean, it's just a natural progression. But it's the weirdest feeling to say, okay, well, I want to go to this street
Yeah.
in the middle of Cape Town. And there you're standing in the middle of Long Street, looking up and down. And there's Table Mountain, dude.
And there's a coffee shop. Let me go in there. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like,
Yeah. Order. Special delivery.
this is metaverse coming out.
No,
again.
but I mean, it's just,
But, okay.
That is
that's
cool. And that's a basic application.
Okay, so this is like really basic, but can you imagine like a next level up where you have these different sites you can virtually go to, but you are there in real time. So you can be standing virtually in Long Street, but you see like all these people walking past,
And there's
and
the,
the
bus
traffic
right
moving.
in front of you.
And then there's a traffic moving up and down. You're standing at one spot, hypothetically, or you can have different sides that you can move around. But
Excuse me.
it's a dynamic scene, right? It's a dynamic scene because it's real time and everything is moving.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing would it be, dude?
Well, let's talk about augmented reality. Here's a piece of augmented reality we don't really hook onto. Have you seen these adverts for these trucks, like Chevy Silverado or whatever in America? Right. So they've got these adverts now where one of the features is you have this 360 view around your vehicle. And you can see behind your trailer So like you've got a trailer, you can't really see behind you, but it can create a picture behind your thing. So think about Street View, right? One day when they've got cameras all over the place, right? And you can stand in the middle of the street real time with the traffic moving up and down.
And people walking
And
past you.
it can triangulate. So basically, it could work out what the view should look like at that point that you're standing on from, say, cameras from various areas. So they don't have a camera, like a 360 camera right in the spot that you're standing.
I'm with you.
But they're using other cameras to simulate that. Fuck, can you imagine that? And it's possible because they're doing it with these vehicles already
Yeah,
to
no,
give you
you're
these
right.
360-degree views around your car. Yes, baby.
On that happy note, we're gonna
Solving the
stop
world's problem.
ranting and move on to the days of the week.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to talk about SpaceX and Ukraine, but maybe we save that for next week.
Yeah.
And what Elon Musk has done next. We'll save that gem for next week. So you guys will be happy talking about days, national days. Because last week I said, what was the national day? Enjoy your bike ride day. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you didn't?
I didn't. I had a gout attack.
Oh. All right. So here's the thing. I use different websites to come up with national days in my research. Sounds like I put a lot of effort into this. Oh yeah, I browse various sites to come to the right conclusions. So guys, if you didn't take advantage of it
Triangulate.
last week, according to several sources in different websites, last week was the Bike Ride Appreciation Day, and I'm just trying to find it. And this week is also, today is also the National Motorcycle Ride Day.
Wow, you're joking.
So, depending on which
glitch in the
website.
matrix, dude.
That is so cool, dude.
Well, I think the problem is it's the second sort of Saturday in October.
Is like, can I ask you something? Is that the difference between one being for North America and one being for Europe?
No, I'm
Or the
looking,
rest of the
both of these sites I looked at are North American sites.
Okay, cool.
Someone's going to get fired.
Someone's, yeah, there's competition here.
But as a motorcyclist, every day
It's
is...
a motorcycle appreciation day.
Yes. Except for
yesterday
today,
was,
almost got taken out 3 times.
Yo, that's hectic, dude.
Well, it says, sorry, let me just be clear. The wording is, if I scroll back to it, National Motorcycle Ride Day, gear up to go on a biking adventure of a lifetime. So you've had 3 life reaffirming moments today. So I think you've ticked that box.
Yes. Yes.
Yesterday was Be Bold and Be Free Day.
That is topical. That's
And
very
like
topical.
I say, every day is
Be bold.
Be Bold Day.
Tomorrow is Global Cat Day for you. You need to find your cat.
Yeah, tomorrow is the day that the deal is sealed.
I'll have to kidnap my old cat. Speaking of which, he hasn't been in my garden for at least a month.
Questions are being asked. All right, so Wednesday, though, you're not going to like because it's National No Beard Day. Eesh.
I'm going to skip
All right,
Wednesday.
but the one I'm going to focus on today is it's International African Penguin Awareness Day. And that's not a
That
fun
is-
one
Why?
because, and you think, yeah, poor little bastards. People think of penguins in Antarctica, but this is the hot weather penguin. And they are cute. But what I didn't realize and why they have this day is quite pertinent. Because these things are clever little buggers and they swim really fast. But just on the decline. They're on the extinction list.
You serious?
And you think how many there are down in Cape
I
Town.
was just about to say.
Are these the penguins that are in Cape Town?
The old jackass ones,
You
yeah.
Jackass.
Those guys are so cute, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They smelly but cute.
In 1910, there was estimated to be 1.5 million of them,
Yeah.
and then in 2010, there was only 10% of that left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do they say why? What's been the decline?
And I'll just go on a bit further. So 2019, the total breeding population across South Africa and Namibia comes down to 20,000 pairs. So it's even declined since 2010.
Jeez.
That's the rate of decline. Poor little bath. They live like to 27 years old.
That's
Sure.
decent.
Sure.
But they do mate for life as well. So this is a problem with the breeding.
Okay.
But yeah, it's water sports. It's plastics in the oceans.
Overfishing, most likely.
Yeah, there's overfishing. There's the habitat that they have is being more and more encroached on. It's the usual stuff.
That's really
You
interesting.
wonder how that happens in Cape Town because there's no space left in Cape Town.
And they have their own beach there, but that's such a small part of
Yeah.
the population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, I'll finish on a cute note that
Okay, thank you.
these African penguins, the males, to win females' affections, they gift them. They give them presents, and those presents are generally rocks.
Oh, that is so cool.
Here you go. Here's a little rock. What do you think of me now, honey? Here's a
But
little
that-
thing I found on the beach for you.
I wonder. Diamonds? Are they?
So
Giving
here's the thing.
diamonds?
So the
Namibian
females
coast.
go. So
Yes.
the females go. Thanks for the rock. And they pick up the rock and they go. All right, see you later. Yeah, phone me.
Find me.
They take the rock and they go and store them, and they use it to build their nest. So when they have enough rocks, and the nest is built, that's when they're ready to go. All right, who gave me the most rocks? Who gave me the sexiest rocks? And that's how they choose their partner.
Wow.
That is really cute.
That is really, really interesting.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Long live the African penguin. And on that bombshell,
Thank you very much.
thanks for episode 93.
93.
I still feel like we're in the 60s, but I can't believe we're in the 90s. But
I thought we were in the 50s, dude.
50, dream of 50.
Right. Another good episode. Got to find my software. Click the button.